Shegun Fatima, welcome. Adeleke Adeniyi Obiojimadu, welcome everyone. Nice to see you. Please go ahead and share the link to this message today. I want to teach today on what basis people use to take their decisions. On what basis people take decisions that they make. Neki Okoro, Rochelle White, Omonike, Daniel, Akushuku, Arugo, Jackie, Kate, Jide Craig, Afolabi. Welcome everyone. Another day, another very important session. Ushe Amadi, Derisu, Melchak, Bolachi Martins. Let's quickly go ahead and do what we need to do. Let's look under the video to this. Under this video, you see a button that you could use to share the link to this message. So let's go share the link. And once you share the link, once you share the message, then we'll be ready to go. Anne-Marie, Efren Soto, Gregory, Femi, Oshuko, Phyllis, Agnes. Welcome everyone. Alice Obazi, Abiola, Abigail, Kiru, Ojimadu. Yep. Nice to see you. Dr. Sufficient is there. Nice to have all of you. Nice to see you. Michael, Akapo, Darlene Madu, Bosse Fayajola, welcome, welcome. Welcome everyone. Abimbola Olufemi, Curtis Anthony, T.Y., Obina, Sheon Oluwatope, Bishop Sam, Akengboa, Yancy Payne, Michael Usman. Okay, now let's go. I've been trying my best to explain to us what it means to be a person of value and what it means to be a person of existence, a person that is just existing, a person that is just surviving, a person that is just making a living, what it means to be a real human being, or just to be an ordinary mortal, just someone existing and someone living, what it means to be a personality, a person, an individual, and from what it means to be from just being a biological being, a biological mass. Unfortunately, too many people are just living the life of ordinary biological mass. So what is the difference between people who are real in people? You know, we see human beings and we say, oh, that's a person, and most of the people that we see this is not an insult. This is not, in the eyes of God, every person is equal, right? In the eyes of God, everybody is valuable. In the eyes of God, everybody is God's child. But not everybody acts like God's child. Not everybody acts like God's children. Not everybody are living to the level of human. And that is what we need to confront in our society. Unfortunately, this particular message, I would have liked to teach it more to my people, because I think that these are the messages that we need to teach to the African people and to the African continent so that we could catch up with the rest of the world. But, lucky for those ones who are here from Europe or from America, because 90% of people in America and Europe, they don't even know what I'm talking about. Maybe 98% don't know, because only a few people, maybe 1% to 3% of people on earth have understanding of what I'm talking about. Because all of us are people, but only few people are individuals. All of us are people, but only few people are personalities. I'm not talking about sports personalities or movie personalities or Nollywood personalities. I'm talking about individual. I'm talking about people who have gotten a hold of the essence of life, people who are in charge of life, and who are in charge of their life, and who are in charge of life in general. So there are two groups of people in that sense. There are people who are just living as biological reality. So this is a person because he has two legs. He looks like a human being. He's standing tall. He's not lying on his stomach. So he's a human being, and he has all the features. So that is just a biological reality. That is what we call biomass, biological mass, biomass, biological mass. That is just, a bunch of body, just body, a bunch of flesh, a bunch of bones and flesh put together. So that is how most people live, that we see. Unfortunately, this is very sad, but that is how most people live now. But that is not how we are all supposed to be. We are all supposed to be human beings. We are all not just supposed to be human beings, but we are supposed to function like God. We are supposed to be people in charge of destiny, people in charge of their lives. And it doesn't matter if you're a believer or you are not a believer. Every human being is supposed to function like a reasoning man, like Homo sapiens. Now, what Homo sapiens means is that a reasoning human, a reasoning animal. So there are two kinds of animal. The animals that have four legs and they don't reason. They don't have the power of reasoning. They don't have reasoning faculty. They don't have the intelligence. They don't have, the soul. The soul part of it that makes man to be totally different from animal. But even though human beings, we are not animals, but to a large extent, if we don't have what it takes to be human, we just act like animals. And all of us have animals in us. All of us are having animal nature in us. That's why what we spoke about in the morning, instinct, reflexes and stimulus is what the animal world used to rule their world and to manage their lives, and we have it too. Why do we have it? Because we have flesh. So since we have flesh, when we fall back from thinking and from operating from the place of authority, from the place of understanding, from the place of knowledge, and from the place of values and decision, when we are not acting by decision, we fall back to acting in the flesh. We fall back to acting carnal, or to fall back to acting as biological mass, and that is when we rely on our instincts to function. But unfortunately, people are so lazy to function from their mind. People are so lazy to function from a place of decision. People are so lazy to function from their conscious mind and from conscious man, because it takes for you to function as a human, you need to be conscious most of the time. You always need to be focused and to be here and now and to be concentrated. And that's a lot of work for a lot of people. So because they cannot do that, what they end up doing is they just rely on the reserve that they have. And the reserve that they have is to function automatically, autopilot, and just to function from instinct, because you will be hungry anyway. So instinct drives you to let you know that you are hungry, so you go and eat as a result of that. For example, when you see a danger coming, you are supposed to run away, but you might not see it because you are not paying attention. That's why we have instinct. There are two major instincts: instinct for self-preservation, or instinct for survival, instinct to make a living. So that is the instinct that makes us to want to preserve ourselves. That's the instinct that is what fear is for. So fear is given to us as a manifestation of that instinct. That is how that instinct operates. Fear is given to us to preserve our lives, so that we will, if we don't think, if we don't have time to think, or we've not done a good job at the thinking level, so that fear will preserve us from self-destruction. The same thing. It is the same instinct of self-preservation that makes us to be conscious of not wanting to go to try new things, to jump from high up somewhere, or when somebody wants to touch your eyes, is the instinct that makes you to respond immediately. So there are a lot of instinctive things, and that is the survival instinct that makes us to just want to live to survive. That is what makes you to just want to think about how to survive, how to make a living, and that is the thing. That is that instinct of survival that makes us to do all the bad things that we do. It is when we live by instinct of survival that we want to survive by all means. So that's what makes us to cheat. That is what makes us to deceive other people. That's what makes us to steal. That is what makes us to be lazy. That is what makes us to want to just relax, because it works automatically. So most of these instincts are just automatic. You don't need to put a lot of energy. You don't need to exert a lot of energy. So because of that, that is the way animals live. They live carefree, careless. So most people live like that. Because for you to live above that level, then you have to live from your mind. You have to live from the place of decision. You have to live all the time being conscious and being in the here and in the now. You have to live from the place of of awareness most of the time, and you have to live from the place of values. So you've got to have some form of value system that are guiding you, and you are always applying those value systems as principles and as the motivations for and explanations for all the actions that you are taking. And also, you must live by goals and purpose. So you must always be goal driven for you to live like that. So so for a lot of people, it is easier for them just to do things automatically, to do things without thinking, without struggling, without controlling themselves all the time. So a lot of people that we see around us, even though they are human beings, they are okay. But so that's the first instinct, the survival instinct. That's why many people are just working for survival, to make a living, to provide for them. You ask people, why are you working? Oh, I want to provide for my family. Nonsense. So you are just like animals. You are supposed to be working to fulfill a goal. What goal? The goal for which you are sent here in the world, to the world. You are supposed to be working to establish something everlasting, something that has eternal consequences. You are supposed to be working to better other people's lives. You are supposed to be working to make the world a better place. You are supposed to be working to manifest the kingdom on the earth. You are supposed to be working to realize yourself and to release your potential. You are supposed to be working to be able to fulfill the mandate that is upon your life, just to survive. That's just like an animal. That's just living like animalistic level of living. But unfortunately, that is the way the whole world is living. Everybody is busy trying to make a living. Everybody is busy just trying to eat. But you will still die. That doesn't make sense. If you just want to eat or give food to the table for yourself and for others, they will still die. So can that be the sense of life, the purpose of life, just to eat and provide food for everybody? When you will still die at the end of the day, that shows that cannot be the essence of life. So but for somebody to live above that, or not to live like that, you really need to be over and above that. You really need to upgrade yourself. You really need to live from another place. And that other place from where you live above that is what we call Homo sapiens level of living, or that we call active consciousness level of living. So that means that you have to live consciously, and not too many people can live consciously like that. So to live consciously means to live above. Jacob is here. Jacob Sale. He said, wow, I miss you, sir. I'm here with your wife. Oh, she did for my right hand here because she's leaving tomorrow. We spend the last days with all of us here. let me show some surprise to okay. Well, I have people here with me, but the most important person here is Dr. Sufficient, because she's leaving tomorrow. She's leaving day after tomorrow, so I'm showing you to your husband. Make you greet him. We wave now. We don't hear.
Hello, my hero. Coming to meet you soon.
He's putting a lot of love on that. Okay, make I continue my message. Sorry guys, something is happening here. Sometimes I do some miracles like that. Dr. Sufficient has been so wonderful over the years here, so I honor a lot. Anyway, where did I stop? Well, so to live above the survival instinct, you've got to live from your consciousness. And to live from your consciousness, you've got to have goals, you've got to have value systems, you've got to be informed, you've got to be to take charge of your life and to take charge of your environment. And you've got to be to be able to live over the fear of survival or over the elementary animal instinct of survival. So, what is the second instinct that is the main instinct? The second main instinct is the reproductive instinct, which is the sexual instinct, sexual urge, and not just that is when people are alive. They're getting married, they are not even planning for it. You are not making plans, you are not making... That is the way it is easy. That's where animals do. Animals, I've never seen a dog with another dog from the neighborhood planning for marriage and getting an apartment or something. That they don't need to do it. That's the level that humanity is descending to. Oh, why should I plan? Let her go and work 50% and we'll go. Just like the dog, this one goes in his own direction and guess what he can eat, this one goes, So that is the way, that is the just living by instinct. Okay, you need me, I need you, I like it, you like it, I like it, and everybody is equal. So, that is the animalistic level. But when you want to live on a higher level, then you are taking responsibility. That you are already talking about value system there. So then you are having vision. Now that is already about value system. Then you are already having plan. That is already talking. So those things, animals cannot do them. To have responsibility, to have value system, to have plans, to have targets, to have instructions, to have systems, to have structure, all those things that are needed to really function as an informed human being, or as a Homo sapiens, as a conscious man, as a personality. Most people cannot afford it. And that's why I always say that a lot of people are not ready to marry. A lot of people are not ready to form families or to become husbands and wives or to become parents because they don't have an idea what it means. They don't have an idea what it means. It's much more, it's a big responsibility to be a family man, to be a husband and a man or even a wife or a parent than many people think. It's not as easy. It's not so straightforward. It's not so easy like people are thinking. It's a lot of work. You have to be a human being. You have to be fully human, not biomass, before you could marry. Marriage is not for everybody. It's for developed humans. It's not for biomasses. It's for adults, or we call it adults, but we use adult for age. But it's for established people. It's for personalities. It's for people who are matured, who are fully matured, who know what they are doing, who have value systems, who have structures, who have understanding, who are informed, who are in charge of their lives, of their value systems, of their worldviews, who are in charge of their lives and of their environment. They are the ones who are eligible for marriage and to be able to be successful in it. Everybody can marry, like the dogs are running about and marrying, and the pigs also. Everybody can do that. But for you to really marry and be successful and have successful offspring, you really need to be a human being first. You need to be fully human. You need to be a personality. And otherwise, you'll just be producing catastrophe. Every generation will be bringing up one catastrophe after the other. And you just be wondering, oh, the world is getting worse. Oh, what is happening in this world? Is this my child? Is this my... Okay. The miracle won't happen. You need to be grown up. You need to become matured. And so this is what I'm saying, because if you want your children to become personalities, to become conscious humans, to become Homo sapiens, you must be able to know what we are talking about. You must be able to hand over to them a set of value systems. You must be able to hand over to them, some worldviews, the biblical worldview, God's worldview, Christian worldview, that is not just like the Bible, like people just use Bible. They don't even know what to do with Bible. So people, it's just a religious book. You just look at Bible as religious, book, and you just pray and you read this and read stories of Solomon, stories of David, and this. And it's not. I'm talking about looking at Bible and using it to bring out values, to use it as a book of values and virtues for you, to be able to mold you, that to mold your character, mold your worldview, mold your thinking system, your faculties, and that will be able to shaping your actions and your attitude in life and your reactions and responses. Shigo said, Pastor, not be small, oh. You keep elevating my level. I think I'm becoming abnormal being. This is the normal. Yeah, what people call normal regularly, that is not normal. That is just, everybody wants you to be normal. And what they mean that they want you to be normal is that they want you to become just like a biomass is like them. They want you to become a biomass, a regular flesh, a regular gray masses. But for you to, but that's exactly what I'm talking about. We must lift ourselves over and above the gray masses level. So let me tell you then, what are the manifestations? What are the characteristics of people who are just biomasses, who are just biological masses? No, he's just a human being. He can laugh. He can. He can dress, Actually, let me tell you what. Biomasses, they are more concerned about their look than their content. Biomasses, they are more concerned about how they look than what they have inside. So, like, for example, I'm a black man. Do you know that in America, black people, they are the ones who are buying 75% of all shoes in town? 75% of shoes are being bought by black people. And these black people are the ones they will put there. He bought shoes of $200, $500 today, and next week they put him in jail, and it's going to be that jail for 5 years. He just wear the shoes for 5 days. So they want to they wear the suits, but they didn't put anything inside. There is no content inside, you see. So that is something that is peculiar of biomass. Biomass people are people that are more concerned about how they look, about the public opinion, than they are concerned about the content of their character. They are less concerned about the content of their being. They are less concerned about how big they are inside. They want to just look big in the outside. So that is what biomasses do. They are more concerned about what they have, for example, how much money they have, how many cars they have, how big house they live in, or all the physical things you say, how respected they are, than they are concerned with the level of strength, moral strength, character, value system, godly worldview that they have. They don't work on the worldviews. They don't work on the character. They don't work on the content of their character. They don't work on their value system. They don't work on the content of their being. They don't work on their inner stamina. They don't even find time for that. They just want to run in the outside, making money, walk. They don't know that the essence of a man is the inner content that he has. The essence and the strength of a man is the pillar of that he has able to build in him, the stamina that he has able to build in him, the worldview that he has been able to form in himself, the foundational things that he has able to build, the core that he has able to form in his own self. So it is that core that determines who you are. It is not how big you are in the physical, but how big you are inside. How big are you in morals? How big are you in standards? How big are you in excellence? How big are you in dignity? How big are you in resilience? How big are you in perseverance? How big are you in virtues? How big are you in value systems? How big are you in the invisible things? It is those invisible qualities that are actually much more stronger than the physical things that everybody is running about. But biomass doesn't know that. A biomass thinks that the thing that really make you cool are the things that you have outside. The things that make you cool is where you live. For example, I live in a big house here. Frankly speaking, I don't even remember where I live. I don't even have time to think about how my house looks like. Because, when I tell people in America how big my house is, they think only few, maybe 1% of America only live in that kind of house. Because this is 2,000 square meters, that is times 9 in Americans, and times 9. That is like almost like 20,000 square meters or so. Square feet, I think. Like 20,000, 18,000 square feet. And I just live in 1/10 of that, because it's not what matters. I don't even remember what car, I don't even remember the name of the car that I use. It's because it doesn't matter. Because I can use any car I want, I can live in any house I want, but it doesn't matter. But you find me every day putting 3 hours of work to build my person inside, to build up the strength, the moral strength, the worldview inside. I am building a fortress inside. I am always fortifying myself with wisdom, with new discovery, with understanding, with strength from inside. It is the strength you have inside that actually determines who you are. It is not what you have outside that determines who you are, but who you are inside. But to a lot of people, the biomasses, they want to give their life to risk. For example, I was talking about those MMM articles I was writing, and I was trying to tell Nigerians that forget what you are doing. They have elevated physical acquisitions. These MMM people and our society, they have elevated physical wealth. So people are writing me, abusing me, blasting me, and saying, what is your problem? We have economic problems here. And because we have economic crisis here in the country, we are allowed to do anything. So they think because it's difficult economically and because there's economic recession, so there are reasons, they are justified to be engaged, to do anything possible, to use any method to gain wealth. So if I steal from you, I think I have an excuse because it's an economic recession. If I deceive you and I lure you into something that is illicit, I say I have an excuse. If I carry drug or something, I said I have an excuse because we have an economic recession in my country. So that is absolutely rubbish. So that is the behavior of biomasses. Biomasses elevate physical things above the invisible values. Biomasses elevate the need to eat, the need to eat. That's why Jesus said, when you come to me, don't be driven by what you should eat or what you should drink or what you should put on, what you should wear. Those things shouldn't be the factors that are driving you. That is what the biomasses do. He said that is what he calls it in a different way. That is what the Gentiles do. Gentiles are living just for physical things. They don't have content inside. They only recognize things that they can see right now. So they are materialistic in their philosophical worldview. People who are materialistic in their philosophical worldview is that they elevate and they see the importance only of things that they can see. Okay, we need to make it now. Now I understand I can make it now. So if they see money now, they can jump over any values. They can override any value system. They can forget about any value system whatsoever as long as it's good right now. So that is the behavior of biomasses. They don't have any core inside. They don't have any spine inside. There is nothing holding them down. There is nothing establishing them. It's just if it is good for them, they say, oh, it's good for me. So it's good for you. just for their flesh. They are using their flesh normally as their barometer. They are using their flesh as their parameter. So it is, if it is good for me, that's what goes. So they are using their egocentrism and their selfishness to become the determining factor in any decision they make. So they just say, if it is good for me, if it is fine for me, if it feels good, if it is nice, if it is good, gives me money, if I could see what I can get from it, is good. But at the end of the day, those people lose. The other day, I showed you the picture of the guy who carried drugs. You remember I showed you about that picture, the picture of the Nigerian guy that who carried drugs to Malaysia, and he was executed there. He was killed. And his village people were doing party, and his relatives, everybody was doing party and calling him hero. Our hero, is a pity he has been killed, and they made it a whole big deal as if it's a tragedy that has happened. Now, so that is exactly the way biomasses live. Biomasses elevate the physical things as if, okay, even though all those village people, they know that he's living he's carrying drugs. But they are saying, but he's giving scholarship to people. He's sponsoring widows. He's done the road to our village. He's the most prosperous person in our village. He's giving money to everybody. So he's our hero. So now that kind of mentality, what does you lose at the end? People who live without value system, people who live for immediate gratification, people who neglect values, they pay higher price at the end of the day. They are always the loser. Yes, you will enjoy it right now because it's always seeming to be the opposite. Like that guy, for example, that was carrying the drugs. When he was carrying the drugs, he was a hero. And he was living big. He was living his life the way he wanted. Everybody was celebrating him. He was the hero. But he was only the hero like that maybe for 5 years. Or maybe for 10 years. Maybe even for 50 years. But he's a young guy, so he couldn't be for 50 years. And then they caught him. They caught him and he lost everything. He has a wife. He had children. He had that village. He had a house. He had everything. But he cannot enjoy them. He cannot enjoy them. Why can he not enjoy them? Because he's dead. Because he was in prison. So he has a house that is built, but he cannot enjoy the house. You see the house is here. He has a big house, but he cannot enjoy the house. Why? Because he's always, when you neglect value systems, when you, use fast way, I don't care. Either people know about it or people don't know about it. Either it is visible now or it's not visible now. You will regret it. That's just the way life is. Only things that are built on values, only things that are built on values are sustainable. All other things will crash at the end of the day. It's just like the king. You remember I also spoke to you about a king in Yoruba land that that is now on the run because they said he was using 419. 419 is Nigerian scam. People using Nigerian, remember those people from Nigeria write letters that I have $10,000 or $10 million or $50 million somewhere. I'm a widow, and if you give me 5% of it or 1% or 2% of it, we will send you more money. 419 or telling women that European women, American women that they are beautiful, they love them, but in the real sense they are just men who are writing. Just taking money, just tricking people. And this guy was a trickster like that, using Nigerian scam, and he became a king. With the wife, can you see? He became a king. He was able to fool people. He fooled everybody. He fooled the whole country. He fooled his governor. He fooled his relatives. You see, he fooled other kings too. But sooner or later, you will lose. And he was living big. Now, nobody knew that what he was doing. But because you have compromised values, you will lose at the end of the day. And now they got information about him and he's on the run. You will always lose. You will always lose when you reject the values. It's not because, it is because this is God's standard. This is God's standard. God established this standard. There is just no way you can beat it. So for you not to know values, so it's not about, okay, like somebody was saying, people were writing me and say, oh, pastor, these are young people. What can the young people do? What? They are not gaining. Oh, that's the only way they can make a living. So leave them alone. Let them make a living the way they can make a living. They are not making a living. They are digging a hole for themselves in the front. They are enjoying right now, but they are digging a hole, a ditch for themselves to fall into. It is not profitable. It is not beneficial for you to try to beat the system and to try to, live against value systems. You will lose at the end of the day. It will backlash. So at the moment, it always looks as if people who are living by the right value systems, people who always maintain the standard, it always looks as if they are the losers, because they don't have anything to show for it immediately. They could be accused falsely. They could be not having anything at first. It could all be as if they are losers, but at the end of the day, they are the ones who win. Even if they don't win here on earth, they will still win in heaven. That's the way it happens. So, like I told you my story, like when I was a student, a lot of the students, they were carrying all kind of goods, selling and trying to make a living, and they were living big when they were students. Although they were violating the rules, but nobody caught them as long as you are not caught. So some people think as long as we are not caught, we are okay. But you have already caught yourself. So, so people who are biomasses, how do they live? They elevate material things above values. They think that immediate gain is more important than the pious values, of integrity, character, and things like that. They always see things that are immediate to be beneficial. They always see things that are material to be beneficial. They always see things that are, that make them to feel good as beneficial. Whereas for you to really be gained in life, you need to deny yourself. It is people who deny themselves, who limit their pleasures, who restrain and refrain from their gratification, immediate gratification. They are the ones who win at the end of the day. By the way, let's go and share this message. I think we all need to share this message, by the way. If you don't mind, look under your video. You will see a share button there. You should have a share button somewhere there. Let's share the button. Let's go and share this button right there. Let's go and share the message. You might want to listen to it again and again. So let me tell you, what are the characteristics of people that don't have value systems? Let me tell you, what are the characteristics of people who don't have a worldview? Not just because you are a Christian, you say, oh, I'm a Christian, I go to church, the church says, oh, I don't want the church people to think I'm this, or our church doesn't allow this. No, it should be your own value system. It should be the way you are looking at life. It should be the way you are. You know that this is your own worldview. And that, again, like I used to say, that doesn't mean that you will be perfect yourself. You are not perfect, but you must have a worldview that is right. You might fall, you might make a mistake, but you must have at least the right worldview. Now, so what are the characteristics of people who are biomasses? For the biomass, it doesn't have, a biomass has not put values above its own life. For you to become a personality, you must have some principles that are much more valuable to you than your very life. There must be some principles that are guiding your life. Those are your strength. Those are your edges. Those are your strength. Those are the things that now turn into your worldviews. You must love some things. That is what the Bible called the love for the truth. You must love the truth above all things else, even above your own life. It is when you are able to say there are some things that you elevate above your own very life. That is only when you are committed to the thing. If you cannot elevate these value systems above your life, you are just a biomass. So that is why people like Martin Luther King, they were able to give their life and sacrifice their life, but they saved the whole country. So even though he lost his life, but millions of people gained their lives. People like Nelson Mandela, yes, he's dead now. He sacrificed his life for his country, but see him now. He sacrificed his life. Yes, he sacrificed his life, but a whole millions of people are alive, and he's living forevermore. He never, most likely. And then, people like Mahatma Gandhi, he sacrificed his own life, but these are people of values. Mother Teresa, they live for other people. They sacrifice their life. So the essence of life for people who are personalities and who have value system, they are so committed to their values that they give their lives every day to the realization of those values. So every day they are sacrificing their life for their value system. Every day, just like Mother Teresa, every day she was using her life out. She was pouring down her life for the sake of her values. She was exchanging her life for those ideals that she believes. She had an ideal. That is another characteristic of people who are personalities. They have strong ideals. And for these ideals, they work and waste themselves. They waste their lives on a daily basis for the sake of those ideals. They pour their lives out in exchange for their ideals to come to pass, and for their ideas to be established in the world. They are exchanging their own life, giving their own life every day, so that their ideals will take over in their place when they are gone. Now, the wisdom is that these people will die anyway, and all of us, even the people who are living for the flesh, will die anyway. But the only difference is that the people who are living like biomasses, they have only lived for the physical. They have only lived for their flesh and for what they want. So when they die, they have only exchanged their 70 years or 80 years of life only for the physical things. When they die, they vanish. That's why, how many people live in the generation of Shakespeare? And how many of them do you know now? Because they didn't exchange their life for something of greater value. How many people live in the times of Beethoven? And why is it that you don't know the millions of people that live in that time? Because they didn't exchange their life for anything of tangible value. Well, anybody that live in the time of, any great people that you are learning about, because they live their life and exchange their life for something valuable, for their goals, for values. They are never forgotten. Because they every day they exchange their life for the spreading and for the success of their values. But those ones who just want to live for today, or just like biomasses, go to work, feed their children, even their own children don't remember them. Even their own children don't remember. Okay, you ask yourself now, or ask me, who is my father 5 generations away, or 4 generations away? Or let me ask you, who's your own grandfather 10 generations away? Of course you don't even remember, because all those people live for them. They were living for the children. The very children they were living for you. You don't even remember them anymore. Their blood is flowing you. You don't even know. So some people are saying today, oh, I want to give back to my own children. It must be my own blood. Okay. Could they keep on giving back to them? 10 children, 20 children. None of them will even remember your name, self. They will be carrying that name. Or even some of them might even change it on the way. Even those of us who are carrying it, they don't even remember who we started from in the first place. But they will remember Shakespeare. They will remember Columbus. They will remember George Washington. They will remember Lincoln. They will remember other people who live for something. But that is not because they were not thinking about the immediate gain. In fact, some of these people that you are remembering, they don't even have children. They don't have children, but they live for values. Values give you sustenance. Your values will sustain you in this life and in the life to come. Your values will preserve you. But the people who are just biomasses, they are only aware of today. They are only, living for today. And they disappear like smoke. Like smoke, like they were never here before. They become fertilizer for soil. All millions of people who have lived, though, billions have lived before now. They are just fertilizer. They are just fertilizing some ground. Later on, that tomb will be. They will say, "Well, we want to construct road around this burial cemetery." They just turn it into fertilizer. That's all. That is, and even your children that you gave birth to 10, 20 children, they are forgotten. Because they too are living for biomasses. They too are living for survival. They too, because they are busy surviving, they've forgotten that they had a grandmother or the grandfather somewhere. Because of survival, they forget about you. Forget. Because they are so preoccupied right now with their own survival. Just like you are preoccupied with your own survival. And they are also thinking like you. They want to give back to their own children too. Thinking their own children will remember them, and their own children forget about them and begin to live for themselves. That's why it's not profitable to just live for yourself. Any kind of selfish living, egocentric living is counterproductive, is foolishness. And some of you will be crying, "I don't have children." Somebody has brainwashed you to be crying that you don't have children. You should be crying about something else. You should be crying that you don't have values. You should be crying that there is nothing you are giving to the world. You should be crying that there is no exchange you are giving with your life. That you are not exchanging your life for any value system. You should be crying that you are not changing your world. You should be crying that you are not, you don't have a goal that you are living for. That is more than just, physical things. And some of them are even worse than crying they don't have children. Some of them are even crying they don't have husband to live with them, wife. As if that is the whole purpose of life. Even you yourself will not remember who you live with when you get to heaven. No marriage there. Finito. Live for something invisible, tangible. That's what Jesus was talking about. That we should gather our treasure somewhere where it is invisible. Where nobody can touch it, where nothing can steal it away from. Gather your treasure in heaven. But unfortunately, people who are, biomasses, they are only looking at immediate gain. They might go to school, they might be educated, they might be graduate, they might be businessmen, they might be rich, they might be wealthy, but they are not living for values. They are not living for essence. They are not living for significance. They are not personalities. And on the lower side, let me say, what are the other characteristics of these people who are biomasses? Biomasses also, like I already said, they don't have any respect or for truth. I mean, to them, truth is relational. It's interchange. Truth is truth when it relates to them. Truth is true when it's good for them. Truth is truth when it rewards them. So to them, truth is not absolute. They don't have absolute values that they have exalted above themselves and above their lives. They are not living for something higher than themselves. And if you are not living for anything higher than yourself, when you die, you're finished. When you are no more, you are gone. It is what you live for, something that is higher than you, something that you invest your life for. That is what will live after you. And that's what would remain after you. Another problem with those people, another characteristics of these people who are biomasses is that they are always justifying themselves. And I'm sorry for that. A lot of people do that. Almost 900% of people, they're always defending themselves every time. because they are more concerned about their image. They are more concerned about being right all the time. They are more concerned about people getting the right picture about them. They are more concerned about people thinking well about them. They are more concerned about people thinking good about them. They are more concerned about people thinking the way they want them to think. They are more concerned about reputation than they are concerned about content, their own content. They are more concerned about people, their reputation in the eyes of people, what other person will talk about them. So you just said something and you want to just correct them or say they are already fighting you. They are already saying, no, it's not true. I'm not. No. Because their anchor is what is happening around them. It's what people are talking around them, what people are thinking around them. That is what makes them to determine. That's what determines how they feel. So it is what is happening around them that makes them to feel, to know if they are happy or they are not happy. If they are successful or they are not successful. It all depends on what people are saying around them. But what is supposed to be responsible for your joy, if you are happy or you are not happy, are the things that you are attaining inside you. The just shall live by faith. It is what is faith? Faith is, invisible things. Faith are the things that are not visible. So, the ability to live for the things that are not visible, the ability to live for things that you don't see, they are the things that really are supposed to be determining your values. It's just like me. If you go to the internet, go and ask for my name, you will see all kind of horrible things that people are writing about me there. But me, maybe they live and they enjoy. And I'm also happy that they put all those things there in the internet or everywhere and the YouTube. Why? Because at least it will get some people out of depression. For some people to be happy, they need to read some bad news about other people. So, but if you are higher than that, the way for you to be higher than that is for you to live from inside out. So no matter what anybody is saying, I'm just living to the full from inside out. I am busy giving things out from inside than I am getting to my ear from outside. Because outside information is not my essence. It's not what is sustaining me. I'm being sustained by what is coming from inside of me. So we'll be feeding them with good information and by anyone they need. If they need bad information, we'll give them, let them be happy a little bit. If they need scandal, we'll give it to them, let them be happy a little bit. But we'll be producing life for the people who need life. So reputation and public opinion is very important for people who are biomasses. Biomasses are always thinking about public opinion. A lot of them are paralyzed because of public opinion. A lot of them, they never become who they need to become because of public opinion. A lot of them never, have a goal or purpose. They never pursued purpose. They never will be able to pursue their purpose because of public opinion. Public opinion has paralyzed a lot of destiny and it has killed them and it's making them not to become who God wants them to become. The next thing, that the next characteristic about these people with biomasses who don't have value system is that they allow circumstances and realities of their nation or the world around them to sway them. They are always they could be swayed and be convinced and be swayed to different direction depending on what is happening. So they, just like chameleon, they adjust to the environment. You could adjust. All of us are supposed to adjust to the environment. All of us are changing every day, but you don't change your values. Your value system are supposed to remain the same. You can change your opinion. You can change your mindset about some things, but you should remain the same as a human being. But a lot of these people, they don't even have anything inside. They don't even have any core. They don't even have any anchor inside. They don't have anything holding them together. They don't even know that they have anything that they're changing or they're not changing. So because of that, some of these people who are, you know them in the house, you know them as one thing in the house, but at work they are totally another thing. And in transport, in the public transport, they are another thing altogether. In the church, they are one thing. In the other place, they are another thing. And these kind of people are hypocrites. They are always, they are looking at the eyes. They are people who look at the eyes. They treat some people nicely and some people badly. Can you imagine? A lot of the things that surprise many people who have come to around me is that, Pastor, you treat everybody the same. How is that possible? I mean, basically the same. Some people I'm closer with than others, but I treat everybody the same. That you respect everybody, you treat everybody the same. But people who are biomasses, they don't treat everybody the same. The people who are lower than them, they're in trouble. They cannot, they will be pushing them around like they're animals in the house. They don't have the ability to respect people who are younger than them, who are lower than them, or who are inferior to them. And then the people who are above them, they want to worship them. That is, sycophants. That's the kind of sycophants we have in our place, in my country that I come from. Everybody is ekasa, elesa, ekasa, sa. And they live there. They have even forgotten that you exist. Talk less of sa again. And they are the ones who will come and dupe you after that. After the sa. Anyway. Just biomasses. They respond according to what is going on. So sometimes they could be emotional. These kind of people are overly emotional. So if you offend them, they cannot control it. They could be aggressive, they could fight. But when everything is okay, they as if they can, as if they are nice all the time. But they respond to stimulus. Because what is stimulus? Stimulus is when you touch him like this, yeah. When you hug him and fondle him like that, ooh, I'm so loving. So they are just stimulus. But what is supposed to happen for a real human being and personality is you are always the same. So even when people offend you, you still love. When people love you, you still love. When people speak good about you, you love. When people speak bad about you, you still love. You are not responding only to what has happened. When people like you, you are still loving. When people hate you, you're still loving. You are basically the same. Of course, things can happen, You could lose it sometimes. You could, be emotional sometimes. But basically, your worldview, that's what Jesus was trying to say. Love not just those people who do good to you. Love those ones who hate you also. Love even your enemies. Don't just love your friends. If you are a personality, that's your value system. You react the same. The person who is offending you is not determining, is not changing cannot. If you are allowing yourself to be offended because somebody said something bad about you, it means that you are making them to be over you. You are giving the power over your life to them. It means you are not in charge of your life. But when you know that your values, you are supposed to be under your values. Your values are the ones who are supposed to rule over you. So you offend me, okay, but I will still love you anyway. I might not relate to you, but I will still love you. You love me, I will love you also. Even if you don't love me, I will still love you. So you remain the same. You are the one who is supposed to be in charge. When you respond the way the person who has provoked you, wants you to respond, then you are under his power. You are not in charge. But when you are not supposed even to be in charge, it is your values that are supposed to be in charge. You are supposed to elevate your value system above yourself. You are supposed to be submissive to your values. You are supposed to be a servant of your values. So those are some of the things that we have to know about people who don't have value system and people who have value systems. So, for example, if I do something that you don't like now, even though I'm your pastor or I'm someone who has done something for you, you could go there and become my enemy and become a predator, or you become a betrayer. You go and betray them. You go and do evil things against them. Why? Because there is no value system. It doesn't matter if you have disappointed me or if you have done something bad against me. It doesn't mean that I have to do evil to you. I will not do evil to you, no matter what. Why? For you to be able to stand like that, you must have value system. But people who don't have value system, it doesn't matter what you have done for them. Immediately you do something they don't like, they come against you. They forget everything you have ever done. Why do they forget everything you have ever done? Because they don't have character. They don't have value system. They are biomasses. They don't remember good. There are people who don't remember good. Why? Because they have not developed, they taking their time to develop that value system in themselves. I see that only a few people have shared the message. I think most of us should go and try to share the message, because you will still need to listen to it. Another characteristics of biomasses is that, they treat their parents and their loved ones and their benefactors, people who have helped them in life, depending on if that person keeps on loving them or liking them or doing good to them or not. So even if it's their parents, once their parents don't give them what they want, or they have not done anything and they've done something they don't like or something they think is bad, they come against the parents who have been paid for their school fees, do everything to them, don't know value system. They just respond to their emotions. They just respond to stimulus. There is something here in Russian language they call sabaka Pavlova, It's like an experiment that was done by one doctor called Pavlov. It's a dog, the Pavlov's experimental dog. And the dog is doing the experiment that everybody is just instinct driven. You respond only by what is happening to you. But we are not supposed to be like that. We are supposed to be responding by our value systems. My God. You see, every day I want to talk about decision. I can't talk about decision again. This evening I had to go and change the title from decision to God help us. When I begin to talk about this thing, I cannot just focus. I have just too much work to do. Too much work to do. God help us. God help me. Anyway, I hope somebody is hearing me today. I hope some people are hearing. Let them that have ear. I hope someone is hearing. Oh, wow. Okay, Vivian said this message is so powerful. Thank you, Pastor Sunday. Excellent teaching. Situation today. This is a reminder. Louis Abraham. Oh, long time. Hi. Chamberlain. Long time. Blessings. Molly says this is a transformational message. Eric, value system is the key to a fulfilled life. Usheshuku Amadi, this message tonight is affecting me positively. Thank you so much, Dr. Delaja. Anastasia, a great message to end the year in solitude. Yeah. Bukola Adenuga, someone said he can drink alcohol in front of some of his friends and he cannot do it in front of some other friends, quoting Jesus speaks in parable to the public and non-parable to the disciples. Pastor Sunday, no, I got what you said, but it's not easy to love the people that don't love you. Yeah, because you are acting from the flesh. God will help us anyway. Thank you for the teaching. Deborah, they did the same with Jesus, and he said, Father, forgive them for they don't know what they're doing. Well, tomorrow is Saturday. In the morning, I will continue the message. And then in the evening, I will be coming with my children. My children will be here with me tomorrow evening and Sunday evening. So we'll be doing the program together. I wanted to read some of your messages, but I'm thinking, wow, it might take a long time. Shigo is saying, what a message. I'm looking forward to living an extraordinary life, practicing this consciously. Emmy Bobby, I'm very happy to be on this platform. God bless you. Shigo said, you are just the ultimate, Pastor. Thank you. Elizabeth, Pastor, the Lord is your strength. Thank you so much for this teaching. Sandra, every moment spent with Dr. Adelaja is value added. Thank you. Willie Belcher, my spirit man is full. Good word, good food. Thank you. Deborah, God will increase your virtue. You will not go weary or tired. Thank you. Shinwei, Pastor Sunday, you are strengthened. You are doing a good job by raising powerful disciples. Do not relent. Bidemi, you are shifting our paradigm. We are learning intensely. Thank God. Mike Fries. Yep. Joseph Oyewale, thanks a million, Dr. Adilaja. The world lacks true teachers who dispenses true knowledge and understanding to this generation. You are a rare breed, Pastor Sunday, 1 in a billion. Thank you. Sharon Mayo, this is true immaturity. Some parents have created children that feel entitled to get everything they want without having to work for it. Yep. Maria Bianca, you are a blessing to Sweden as well. God bless you. Thank you. Okay, guys. I will be back in the evening. Sharon Mayo, thank you for this eye-opening message. Teaching is a message for the whole body of Christ. Ukere, I need to listen to this message over and over again. It is awesome. Thank you, Pastor Sunday. Maya, always so inspired whenever I listen to your messages, more wisdom. Oloa Formula, thank you, sir, for sharing your life with us. May God fill you up with more knowledge and wisdom. Deborah is saying, we appreciate all the ladies that are working behind the scene. Shigo, you are a huge blessing to my world. Love you loads. Thank you. Well, thank you so much, everybody. We'll see people tomorrow morning. God bless. Please go ahead and share the link. Let's go ahead and share the link, all right? So that you could watch it again. Bye.